Hey there, gamers. DreamCast guy here. Today we're talking about Marathon because PlayStation just did a giant blog post. Bungie just basically outlined the next 6 months of planning, including a new PvE mode, a purely PvE mode, which is something I have been begging for. Now, I want to just go through the entire incredibly
They're desperate.
long article because it does something incredibly interesting. I have a thing I talk about here on the channel, which is that I hate that so many game developers lie, either explicitly or implicitly. They try and dance around their mistakes, their problems, the things they objectively did wrong. Here, they actually explain how badly they've messed Marathon up, how much the player base has completely collapsed.
It was only down to 500 because of server maintenance. I've seen that screenshot going around, and it's not accurate.
And their plan
It hovers right around, like, I think 8 to 10,000, generally speaking. So the 500 number was not legit.
to still fix it. And I have to say that there's always been this sort of promise to live service games, that it's a game that's constantly evolving. The meta, the guns, the balancing, the enemies. There's always that next patch that can change things up. But a lot of live service games don't feel that live. In a lot of ways, they feel sort of dead, even if they are good, because it just feels like basically the only thing that's live and updating is the store filled with microtransactions. Bungie is actually very desperately trying to fix Marathon, and as a person that's now put over 100 hours into it, I'm glad, because I got to admit that I have not played Marathon in weeks because the game just feels so dead. It's not fun to log into a game that's the same 5 guys taking turns blasting on my face. What are we talking about?
The 5 gays? Boss. Well, hold on a second.
Marathon in weeks because the game just feels so dead. It's not fun to log into a game that's the same 5 guys taking turns blasting on my face.
The same 5 gays blasting on my face. Whoa, mama. Yeah, we'll record that real quick. Hold on, I'll mute myself.
Log into a played Marathon in weeks because the game just feels so dead. It's not fun to log into a game that's the same 5 guys taking turns blasting on my face. What are we talking about? Anyways, let's talk about this update. I want to go through the whole giant long list because honestly,
there we go.
I think that this might be a chance to, maybe if it doesn't completely save the game, make Marathon playable to more general audiences. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So, okay, we have to start with this, right? I literally made a dedicated video about this topic specifically, which is that
Oski Woski with the 2, at least Dreamy is being honest for once. Yeah, it'd be more exciting if 6 gays were blasting all over his face.
I played a lot of Marathon, and I just feel like there is a brutality in the fact that there is a finite amount of fun. Then extraction shooters, especially if you're playing something like Arc Raiders or something, a lot of times there is a way to play the game without just constantly having to murder everybody. Whereas in Marathon, it is 99% a PvP game. There are bots, there are bosses, but really the point is to murder every other player in the lobby, which means that for the most part, everybody is always losing everything. Your vault, your upgrades, the stuff you've grinded for is perpetually going into the void. So I said that there needs to be some sort of version of playing this game that has such good aiming, such good combat, such cool character design, in my opinion. Play this without just being constantly fed into the meat grinder. Marathon will have a PvE only experimental mode in Season 2 plus a PvP light mode. This is probably like, they've been experimenting with less teams on the map. Right now, the big problem is that the maps are very tiny, which is definitely a purposeful design, but if you have 6 teams on a map the size of like a football field, everybody is just constantly, whether incidentally or purposefully, murdering the hell out of each other. I like the fact that now we actually have this option of, hey, what if instead there were 3 teams, right? What if we had a mode where there are other people, but it's not just constantly being rammed down your throat? Faster than I thought it would be. This is obviously Paul Tassi, a dude's covered a lot of Bungie over the years. We're going to go through all of it, but this is the thing, right? Perhaps this could also mean a potential arena mode. It would mean that taking over of PvE perhaps is a more purely PvP focused mode. They've lately been experimenting with this mode called, what was it called? It was called Loadouts Only, Sponsored Loadouts Only. Basically, they made a map where everybody only has starting gear, and it was a giant success because it turns out that,
It was a giant success. That player count would beg to differ, man. I don't think anything about Marathon has been a giant success.
if you're getting into a fight, at least if you're all equally balanced, it feels a bit more fun when you win and less frustrating when you lose. Whereas right now, you keep running into people that have 500 hours in the game.
Well, Dreamcast guy's always shilled for this game, to be honest. So, he's stayed consistent, I guess.
Never, ever felt a drip of a shower or the touch of a loved one. Those people just murdering entire lobbies with purple shields. It's nice that now we're sort of getting an idea of this. It's actually fun to get the game because of the PvE mode. Some people seem to be a bit frustrated. I've noticed that a lot of the Marathon community wants the game in a lot of ways to be less successful, to be less, mainstream. They're sort of terrified.
Stop listening to hardcore players. They kill every single fucking game.
Of normies getting into the game. Now, this is the whole TLDR. Too long, didn't read of it. Their goal is to make the game less grindy, more rewarding, make the UI, UX, honestly, the menus are still absolutely terrible. Matchmaking has been terrible. The in-game meta, there's been so much stuff that over time has actually gotten more broken as the game goes on. As more of the player base hits max level or starts to max out their factions, the game really breaks down in a way that I guess they couldn't test during the betas and stuff. Smoother onboarding. We're also going to build out the game. We're trying to add new mind-bending content, new zones, new stuff. So Season 2 starts on June 2nd. We're sort of getting a new map. The new map is called Night Marsh. It's probably just going to be like Dire Marsh, but darker, spookier, right? This is the thing. We're bringing back duos. Heck yes. We're testing new experimental stuff, including a PvE and PvP light mode. Heck yes. We're expanding the size of your vault. Very necessary. But I wanted to just scroll down to this. This is the thing that I really want to scroll down to that PvE mode and read exactly what that is. You can see how giant this post is, but I really wanted to start with this. Them, in my opinion, very much admitting their mistakes. And I think I appreciate the fact that as much as I have hated this game, as much as I have actually very much railed against Marathon, from a player standpoint, I'm not the person on the sidelines laughing at player counts. I'm the person that's been out there saying, this sucks because it should be better. This is Bungie. How is the gunplay so good? But instead, the gameplay feels so dead. The gameplay loop feels overly grindy with no real reward on the other end of the rainbow, right? Marathon's root go back to the original 90s. This is what we've learned. As we've moved forward trying to bring these ideas to life, we brought the team together to make a social survival experience, one built around a few core concepts. Everything is dangerous. Preparing is important. Every run moves you forward. Bigger risk, bigger reward. Use your judgment. Surviving matters. Building on these concepts, we've constructed the game around this high-impact decisions, but here's what did not go well. Okay, out of the gate, we're exciting to see the core community build around this tense survival experience. The sheer number of stories is great, but here's what we've learned. Marathon is overwhelming to learn. The game is absolutely daunting. It does not explain contracts. It doesn't explain points of interest. It doesn't really explain anything. Marathon to new players is an overwhelming experience. After a short tutorial, you're often thrown into fire to learn the concepts, navigate a lot of screens, and filter through a ton of loot and build muscle memory with a lot of mechanics very quickly in a hostile environment while other players can bring you down and take your stuff. It's easy to hit a wall if you're not spending lots of time or don't have a consistent crew or you're not super skilled. Matches can feel like a death spiral for some. You kit up, you go in, you die, you spawn rush, somebody gets the jump on you while you're looting. Faction progress can feel like a slog and you struggle to get the mats necessary to get your upgrade.
All right, awesome. Thanks,
this
nigga. All right.
Is so crazy to me. This is exactly what I've been saying, that a lot of people have been saying, that even if you enjoy Marathon, the game is like what I said in a previous video, is it's like 9 hours of grind for 1 hour of euphoric.
Yeah, an hour of euphoric fun. I don't think so.
Fun. The amount of like high intensity, hey, go in there,
Dude, I literally, like, I can't even remember a singular moment in Marathon where I wasn't just, like, ready to turn it the fuck off.
just die, 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 die. To sort of eventually get one better weapon, it's just not worth it. It's straight up, especially during stuff like Cryo Archive and stuff. A big problem that people are talking about is that the in-game content is practically unplayable in a lot of ways. It is wild to think about the fact that there are times where I would log on with my buddies and play the game for 3 to 5 hours and win 0 matches. 0. Every single time. Every piece of loot, everything I found, everything I earned. Times where I killed, all right, we had a crazy fight and we killed 3 of the 6 teams on the map. We feel like golden gods. We're sitting there looting. Somebody's got a thermal scoped sniper rifle and wipes out the whole team. Well, there goes all that work. There goes all that good vibes. That was the thing with...
Which is why extraction shooters inherently fucking suck. I really don't understand the appeal of the genre at all.
Me is that it did feel like losing in Marathon, it feels like somebody is taking the fun away. And I feel like they're sort of realizing we have to make some sort of extra option, some sort of extra mode that lets you grind things back up. And my suggestion has been a PvE mode because it would be nice if you could gear up and then go into the PvP instead of just being shoved into the furnace constantly forever as the only way to play anything in this game. It burned me out, to be honest. We're trying to figure this out. Still figuring out the balance and mix of in-game. Bubbles, nade spam, and snipers make it feel like every energy engagement is the in-game. With all that stuff, as everyone's accumulated, is chaotic fast and stressful in a bad way. Right now, people have actually figured out that you can basically get double shotguns or a thermal sniper rifle, put down a bubble shield, and force people to go into it. You can basically literally corner people in some of the indoor environments with bubble shields, so their option is, log out and lose their loot, or step forward into the bubble and get insta-shotgun and lose their loot. Oh, you managed to use a key and get out a back entrance? Okay, there's 2 guys with thermal scopes nearby to take you out. The game is not just, like, hard, it's brutally unfun in a lot of ways. Spawn rushing and lobby clearing are dominant strategies that pull the pacing too far and make matches too predictable. Matchmaking can be a blessing and a curse. Sometimes you don't want to sweat. Gripping your precious loot every moment as you creep into exfil with your head spinning like chicken, making sure another runner doesn't show up with a shotgun is a fun, intense experience. But after a few runs, sometimes you need to power down and just want to frag out or relax and play in a different way. It's hard to find that chill moment in Marathon. This is the big thing. A lot of people talk about the fact that because the odds of dying are so freaking high, people are just sitting on loot forever. People are never actually spending their credits. Nobody's spending the upgrades. Nobody wants to spend their materials because everything you buy, everything you earn is just going to go into somebody else's bag in the very first match you do. There's a difference between difficulty and unwinnable, right? Like, I like to try and do a little bit of mountain climbing style stuff, right? I do some indoor rock climbing, but I'm not super good at it, and that's why I keep the ropes on. But if you said, hey, there's a 99% chance you're going to fall off that wall and you don't have ropes, after a while, it's full of fun like those couple times. Man, this is thrilling. Oh, man, I want to try this out. It's a fun, hard challenge. But after a while, you get to a point where, like, man, I don't want to do this again. The cost is too dang high. Okay.
Yeah, again, this is a problem inherent with the gameplay loop of the genre. I don't understand how it's fun, personally, but, it feels like it's work versus an actual game, but it is what it is, dude. I really do not like extraction shooters. I think the game mode itself is just incredibly flawed. All Night Yahtzee with the 5. Griffin, I got another AI video. Yeah, we can check it out. That's fine.
So, here is the thing. We're going to scroll down here. What we want to do, better seat gripping experience with more sci-fi magic-y style stuff, right?
Ooh.
Beyond Season 2, we're trying to find new stuff like adding in new alien environments, more mind-warping buffs, basically different stuff to make the map feel extra, extra alive. These enemies in Tall City are getting extra big and small alike additions. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I absolutely loved, right? Here we go. Okay, more options to chill and new survival experiences. The second thing we want to talk about is how to evolve Marathon as a whole so people can experience and find new ways to play, options beyond the full sweat or lean back and chill. This means new ways to play and accommodate different friend groups, moods, and time availability to allow you to experience the thrilling survival of Tau Ceti in a way that fits your needs. In Season 2,
Thrilling.
we will begin experimenting with 2 modes, one at the beginning of the season, one towards the middle and later half of the season. The experimental mode at the beginning of the season will focus more on PvE with a light touch of PvP. The second experimental mode will be a PvE only mode that's focused on crews being tasked to complete objectives together, making some progress across matches. That to me sounds like exactly what I want. Some people be like, oh, is it like Destiny? I mean, these are the Destiny people. I just want something where I can play something where I still think the point of the game being PvP, I'm not trying to get them to remake the game. I'm just saying that I wish there was more of a way where I could grind and then take my good gear into the PvE mode or into the PvP mode. And when I lose it, it doesn't feel like, I like the idea of gearing up, killing bots, and then, all right, now I feel strong enough, confident, and geared enough to do that next big match that win or lose, I still feel like I was prepared for that fight I lost, instead of just being ruthlessly, endlessly ambushed by people that are 10 times my level, right? We'll continue to run experimental queues beyond these 2 offerings with Season 2 and beyond, testing the waters around other mechanics, such as perhaps a more purely PvP-focused mode, which some people have basically been asking for an arena mode, sort of like a Crucible or something, and the potential for these to become more a core part of the game loop and permanent ways to play. Everybody is like, man, here we go. I gotta say, I appreciate the fact that they are listening. Like, you could say, this game's got too many problems, this game is unsavable, I wish we had Destiny 3. I think those are all valid points. My thing is,
I'd much rather have Destiny 3 if it was actually good. I mean, Marathon and any other extraction shooter, I just have no fucking interest in. I strongly dislike this genre.
is the fact that I appreciate the fact that I spent $40 in this game. I spent my own $40 on this. I've been playing the heck out of it. I definitely got my $40 worth out of it. I think I played like 99 hours, so just like a penny short of $1. But I just feel like I appreciate the fact that they're sort of falling on the sword and saying, here's what we think will fix it. Tell us where we've gone right and where we've gone wrong. I am super impressed. I'm not going to try and be like a total Care Bear PvE noob, but I will admit that I feel like I'm more excited about that PvE mode than anything else I've been excited about in Marathon in a very, very long time. These have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. This video is probably going to get 7 views because nobody ever cares about Marathon anymore, but to me, as one of the last people that did at least attempt to give this game a fair shot, this to me seems like an actual Bungie W. We'll see how it actually shakes out, but to me, I don't know. I may actually finally go back and finish that platinum. The only trophy I need now is getting level 100, which now, if it's not an absolute murder fest, maybe I can actually get some experience points without just being instantly spawn ganked. Thanks for watching. If you could, please give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.
We shall see.